national service scheme. My government will propose that those who, after completion of their education, can secure jobs will be exempted from national service. National service will no longer be mandatory, and students will have the option to decide whether to do national service or not. This will also encourage companies to go to the campuses to recruit annually. This time they don't go because of national service. Of a very few people having access to financial services. To solve this problem, I championed the implementation of mobile money interoperability. Mobile money interoperability has made it possible to transfer money seamlessly across different mobile money providers and between bank accounts and mobile wallets. Today, because of mobile money interoperability, you can transfer money from a customer of one mobile money service provider to a customer of a different mobile money service provider, and also make payments from your mobile money account into any bank account, and you can receive payments from any bank account into your mobile money account. Ladies and gentlemen, you can do this 24 hours a day. Apart from achieving financial inclusion, mobile money interoperability has also significantly promoted a cashless culture, especially by our market women and the business community, thus reducing robberies and attacks on market women and business folks on our highways. Armed robbers used to attack vehicles carrying traders, knowing they were carrying cash. But now, many traders don't carry cash because they keep their monies on their mobile wallets for seamless transactions wherever they are. Today, because of mobile money interoperability, you can also receive remittances from abroad directly onto your mobile wallet without the need to go to a bank or Western Union money transfer. Because as a result of mobile money interoperability, over 90% of Ghanaian adults have mobile money accounts that function just like bank accounts.
We happen to be living in times where the whole world is in a flux. Leadership is very, very scarce. Quality leadership. If anybody aspires to be a leader without command of the new technologies like digitalization, and also without a deep grasp of geopolitics, I tell you, he may be a good man in terms of mastering some of the old disciplines like, say, economics, politics, and all that. But I tell you, very likely he may be found wanting sooner than later. This young man here seems to have these instruments under his belt. Digitalization, geopolitics, and additionally, we've seen him perform loyally under President Akufo-Addo, and he's been also in public view since he got selected as the vice presidential candidate in 2008. He's hallmarked by humility and the temperance requisite for the job of leading a nation in search of a way forward. Ghana has come to a crossroads, and I'm serious here. It's not the normal, regular politics we want. We want a leadership with a vision, even in the complex world I've talked about. A leader that will be able to marshal the new technologies, to pick the requisite manpower. And here, allow me, I'm a party man soundly, but I tell you, we should be talking about the nation and not so much about the party. We must get people of competence to work with him to find our way out of the confusion our society and economy have been plunged into. I wouldn't blame any side. Look at the track records of all the parties. I tell you, you can't find one that can say that in their time they were excellent or superb. No.
I must at this stage salute and give particular recognition to the Bank of Ghana, which has come under unfair criticism for taking the necessary measures which help pull the economy back from the brink. The Bank of Ghana provided needed financing to the government at that critical moment. What the Bank of Ghana did was very responsible in putting the interest of the good citizens of Ghana first. The data which is available shows that the financing provided to the government by the Bank of Ghana was temporary. The Bank of Ghana has provided zero financing to government in 5 out of the last 7 years. Zero financing in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2021, and 2023. The Bank of Ghana financing of government in the COVID-19 year of 2020 and the liquidity
na han no mo by ya shifting kakran and ye guso shifting from adwen say there be we ye mi kromuni there be we die me sanse me free anti hana metoma bako ye free ho ye be free ho so eti ne say ye NDC say ye MPP amanyoko no when so obi onam bia the message some message ne yesenye ne enye so no ye de tonse ne so ye kari ni ama wahu say ne nipa ne kani eti wu a wuti fie no dia na wodwen fa nipa no asem na wo ka ne ho asem na nipa ne kan ye no atowasum na ne MPP amanyoko no nipa wayi nuo se woni amanyoko nanim na fimpinu ane aduonu nayi wontu franka ma Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia wate na sem odi tu dwa wonte ye so a ane anwumre yi meyi ne maako bia ma wo because Ghana asemu a eda nipa no Ghana fododo no ano se wo mo ka wo mo se mampani na nado ene na bedi eche Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia o mama muo na wo mu yi ene wutie ne Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia ka wo se wono sani amanfo ka se na economic management team na ye leader no enye decision making body chese se kuo no wonu mu ntumi ensi gina ye nka se ye kohia ye no ya dwenie na ye de koye adwuma omo no mo kire omadwen enti after se wo kire na dwen se ye susu se wei na sese ye no nipa no e wo so ofa no opa no ofa ene chese baby ode ne ho agina na nwumre yi ye behwe se mampani abedi akire wo yi ne ho na afiri mu ana se wo kire adwuma ye de hye ne se because anwumre so wa kire se wono efa mamu e course yi mampani na do amamu yi wono ye hye da de adwuma bi hye ne nsa ye adwuma ye de hye ne nsa no ye wo so afo hwe o mayi sikasem so no na sikasem ne niema no wototo wono no ne office adwuma ye de hye ne nsa ye sa digitalization no enu nti na question bebre ye amanfo bisa se na Ministry of Communication enyu omo na ye enne mampani abedi akire bibi obeka bi ose my office na se ono na tena ye no ena niema fa digitalization wo mayi mu de ose ye na tena ye no ena de ba ye eti abusua ensam no bebre ye kwa homa so ten ene bani ni shujumadi no ye wo UPSA University of Professional Studies da che hene na na sante wa ma so da che hene yeah da che hene hello everyone da che hene dede wom to asoma yen wugina he
everyone dede ya ene o hapa saminu ka say after Vice President Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia the speaker of the Bay and I said in some kind of way to me a year you know what the MPs and the party in Penifo Mubaha the Omuti who senior Omufan work of some message and any study huni and Omuju or the better guy Amaya na God afford to me after Mwaba na ye dey good send ye so ni ewe me ya hwese to me afa ho na ye to aba e di amana na but mamini opportunity na honorable Diaboko honorable Vice President ye candidate about and what can say minister more the two
Majidi de Sama Vice President okay no. What say there why are ready and prepared nobody omenenu. Oma practical solutions or check problems ayewo and practical solutions are obotu modaba odabwa and it was wide ranging and I think that going forward obiara ete my Vice President aka they will say nimpa onye ni kwakwo na the difference is very clear very clear issues no okay ni nya no ma odima kwesen pa ye how why dey abẹ from free with digitalization yedi ba such o minor ekona e fada yediduma on all level of the economy from there you will be pay or apply for passport. Another or applied for tax. How technology will transform the process, or what it is, and I think that amount for one for now soon, papa. You have problems on Galamsey, you have problems on small scale mining, you have problems on electricity, you have problems on tax system, you have problems on driver registration and vehicle line system. Every sector. What can I say?
Honorable Damboche, so any Ababe General Secretary da now a member of Parliament who put twice or say Nadia or best sign Akobium. Dear what say ever hey, your baby son is honorable. Their course I would say, yes, Vice President Sakata. This we are in him. Ghana. Party of Homa Ghana. And I never want to do a liar and they will go. I am the values of all selflessness. Say you bet you watch yeah, Juma. So I must have a physical and a padilla or matter of the show. And also okay system. The only on the program, the something who are entered. Can I put this on? I will say, I will say, yes, before systems working, and that's what we're talking about. And that's it's all the first. I'm just about the we live here with so much hope. Like I did that so what Kenya is, and I'm papa, and I don't go to of the class. So that will release sense of hope and energy and ideas of systems that don't want about the yes, Socrates, so any common. Socrates, Atama, Vice President Ebeka, when it comes to the entertainment aspect, at the end of Kenya, at all, at the end of yes, soon for years, tax issues. I'm want to say, why you might be free, why should be free? But I get back one here and for one, tax, and let us say, of my special tax rate. And for me, it is one key point. Me sure say, when your manifesto, I say your manifesto, and I believe, and I can assure all great say, when the manifesto comes out, you will see some of the things that yes, and we will see it there. So me, I have hope. Now, so in the vision of the Vice President, said you're the true John, we never saw anything related to entertainment. Is it supposed to say, sir, when you had a manifesto, but in vision, and the vision so another manifesto. Well, this is the vision. It will form part of the manifesto, yes. But I can tell you, sir, the manifesto is well enhanced, and we will be so happy if you see it as a creative person. I bet you. And then and as a medical culture program now Vice President in Casa Yemuna or the Abade and they go to every and 24 ministers of state, former ministers, MPs near the Adina, Omuna, Ebeti Mono, Omuna, so as but Mamini, regional minister, Yanini, and Komo, Katra, you are the most. I do not understand. Honorable Vice President about the Katabe, what can I do for Tino? I want the vision no more at all. Okay, so Vice President started here now. Okay, now you can't answer about power 2016. The way now you change the macroeconomic indicators. And so now COVID about COVID no so about now. I say about destroy stability no. Some modern say we are reversing the trend to the way now. Yes, starting in 2017 economy. And as I was saying, on one vision say, Obama, about creating an economy and as a Ghanaian society, it doesn't matter your background. That kind of free will to develop in a decent environment, a decent work environment, and prosperity for every Ghanaian. Then you talk about Senabaya Oba Meki the private sector an engine of our growth by ensuring that some nuisance taxes are able to remove it. So there's also a grantee tax exemption. So where ban taxation and not normal be. The reason why I say expanding the tax net, expanding tax net, the big number flat rate, using digitalization, amount for basic follow tax easily. The ban that we can reduce the burden on of paying tax, and more tax will also be raking. Another can I say the building of roads in our people to bring in the private sector, the expenditure burden on the government will reduce, so the government will have some fiscal space to be able to invest in other things. About education, I say free SHS, no better, or better to also, or better make it STEM, vocational education, and other skills acquisition, the center of what government, to ensure that every Ghanaian comes in an inclusive society. My interest on that, and come on. My name is quickly, Vice President, the vision for the state. Are you very surprised after the speech, nothing relative to entertainment?
Oh, I mean, he said something. I will say, when okay, I say the actual manifesto will be made available. And where some of the preambles are the my. Oh, there's a whole agenda that is being put together by creative people for him to champion. Into all those successes are all kind of other sectors. You know, we are also going to be experiencing these successes in the creative art sector. The digitalization of the entire creative art sector. And then I just say when you do, I just say order. Now, when we can have a one-stop shop for all the Fugu designers in the north, everything else that database on that platform. You order, you pay, Momo, delivery takes it, delivers it to you at your digital address. And I know can want them. Those are some of the things that are going to be done. A whole lot, but the ben you know be peso. It's me to your boss. We have say I go to away comedy. Yeah.
Everyone, I say and for more, of course, whoever had a normal that imagine it. Yana one is I will be a chief and the phone. Come on to do an arm and say, also over to us so studio now and penny for. Look at you more Ghana,
yo that's in me na wase abusuan that's in na na ya wasante ene ya tenenka ede Free University of Professional Studies ene baby a Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia mampani abedi akire ya nei MPP amanyoko no odi wanim na fimpinu ene aduonu nan watu franka ede amawo wa batro no emu wode bedwamu kasa kire ene wode ehyehyɛ so no ɛhɔ na amaneboyi efraba nti wate mpanimfo no ensem na adeɛ baako ya mampani abedi akire kan ya wutim se nipa ɛwɔdam hɔ no mu nyina ebose ɛyɛ E-levy a wɔse ɔba a obetwam E-levy no a wasi so dua ka sɛ ɔba a obetwam na ne yɛ bisa ne sɛ E-levy no kyɛ sɛ ɛba dede yɛ kɔɔso wɔ ho sani amanfo si bo hu jadede na nyo na botaye kura mpanimfo de si wani so efa 11 hu sika wo so wonya wo twen wontimi miti wo mo target da wo 11 no ho eti nei se mampanina bedi akire ka se wo ba wo betwamu a na sade no eba ni nyina no na ne bonyo so no onim sade no enye yie na hwan na de baaye na nei yesi ye betwam ene wasi wonya ba wo betwam na niema ne mampani abedi akire abobɔ so nyina da no ba ko ame waka adwuma yode omo ba ye mabu no matumi ya ma adwuma ye from 2017 to 2002 no 2.1 million mabu no se omo ama adwuma ye National Health Insurance Scheme ni omo atumi aye wo hɔ no mo kyese niema wo ma ye ne Free Senior High School wabobɔ bi so a badia ba ko ya me enem migidi so bia wone de ye obefa wom se ya de so obetumi ya ye de a cerebral palsy nkwala apomuden ne wo boss wo nyina no bia wo ba bia megidi se wo befa emma pa Ghana ha sei wo mu kunu no madwane agya wo mu because of sa cerebral palsy nkwala na wo munya wo mu a enkwada no ho ka eti be ma na duru ho no mo apa no wokọ meka cerebral palsy nkwala ni nkwada no a ye wo mu a tete ne yesi o no ye nsuo ba no ye nsuo ba omu ho ka wo beto diaper beto den wo be ye den eti se ne wo ka se ya pomuden babi a yeyi ye ni wo ho nyina wo de beba mu no babusua ni nyina no yesi twia wo hoyi enya den se ne katwem se wo di akekaduro se wo nipa kro nim twia wunya di twia wie a na akasa obeka twem eti ye ne animdifo a wonim di wo sikasem mu woni a wonim de fa mamu ho anwumre yi ye ne wo twetwe nkomo na mampani abedi akiri asem a waka nyina ne wo ba wo beye galamse kon na ya konfiri mresante na galamse asem a opani wo kan de I'm wondering kwanya cheze ne wo ka no dada no a ya komu no wa bio galamse asemi se community mining ya nesa adane dien yo sadane dien ya yehu wo be hye mu kena na community mining no mode ba ya mo hye ase ebesi ne na kosi sen eti abusia asem no wo se yenya abotre ne etasitase ne mako de hin no kan ya wo gidi se ade we de ye de ye adwuma ebebo ayen de hin na wo gidi se da bi hade me ne na nya adwen abusia ye ne mpadinfo betwetwe nkomo na ne wo so de ebebam because so ye Ghana ni na Ghana for expectations ahoro no a no wo hwe animu se me expect semeti wei eti ne na wo hwe animu se wo betie no wo teye mampani abedi ache ya wo di MPP amanyoko na animu no asemu a wo na wo hwe animu se won fa ntudwa no ne na wo pesa wo tie wo gidi se wo gina so to aba ebeye yi no wati na nwumre yi meko imani Africa na mene president ya woda wano Owura Franklin Kujo ewo ahoma so mene no ehyasie medin de akua boachewa yi Adom producer seta machi lawyer listo wo kwadwofojo kwamkule nu tachie Aisha akua Ibrahim Frank Milovan na wobomi chidom jamra twuma ko wu aso tachie ni odomatum live ewo Facebook YouTube ni din di Edward Tete abusia meda Franco Trading Enterprise at se DBS for meda wase Aja Kujo afishiapa
Africa back to everywhere it's saying
adumo mete wonka na achepa umwana
mini what don't for Cassandra no and a friend is a CJ but I'm so many the actual Michelle
umu a testing kakra me didi se wanu atom krakakra me da se waje so anwumren mampani abedi akire ya ne odi MPP amanyoko nanim atu franka ade ama woyin imani Africa anwumren munya adaje tena ho tie nsam a woka ye ni bi wa miti mu expectations ahoro se wei ni ehwe animu si ye bete wa miti bi
You, Micharity for so. First of all, Maminka said these are my preliminary remarks. The organization, the money itself, is yet to basically write a whole paper on the presentation. See, what I'll say right now, maybe it may affect it or it may not affect it, but all the same, I'm sure I have a little vote in there. Like I said, to start off with, I think the vice president has a lot of stamina. I think he's healthy. I mean, it's good. He has all these excellent reflexes. Yeah, but having said that, I think for me, the first hour could have been used differently. First 1 hour, no. The reason I'm saying that is that most of the things now can't first no. I mean, I thought that it was more like it was sounding as though we were at the rally ground. And
me first na nature say achievements na what out in ya we na said achievements
I mean, we've heard all of those before, and like I told CJ the last time. And we are in an economic war, and so I expected that a lot of the times will be spent on dealing with how the economy has dealt with us and how we'll get out of the hole. Okay, Bimo, but Ojai Kakrebi, which is also the blame that needed to be put squarely on the economic management team, probably the finance ministry. Even though Oshaya, one Shadanka finance minister, once and will not praise the Bank of Ghana governor. And I was surprised because the Bank of Ghana governor was simply just bankrolling the waste of the finance ministry. Basically, that was what happened, right? And but I thought, say, the first half could have been spent not necessarily on praising himself or praising the achievement of this administration, but rather just tell us exactly how things pan out and where we are going, where we are. Free problem. I don't think I heard that much, except to say, towards from page 38 thereabouts going, where he started laying his vision. That's why it sounded as though, yes, some of the things I saw, to said giving the private sector the pride of place. Alabama, instead of the government doing a lot of things, per se private sector, Onagasa calculates as a private sector, yet to sell roads and hospitals, the country will save the country, the public sector, about 3% of GDP. Or conversely, will gain 3% GDP, not necessarily due to public money, but private sector funds, which is one of the most innovative, not necessarily innovative, but one of the most useful things I find. But you see, there were missing gaps. The missing gaps essentially are that the hole that has been created, the debt exchange, right? I wanted to hear, say, 2025, 2026, any debt restructuring, and what will lead to that. It is not enough to say, okay, some of the inflation figures are turning around the corner, macroeconomic indicators are turning around the corner. These are all due to the IMF policies. As IMF, what exactly would you be doing that will not get us back into that hole? I feel, even though he tried to suggest, very different, which is true. Of course, he said he abolished E-levy, which is a very bold thing. It looks to me that he escaped. He tried to sweep a lot of the blame under the carpet. Everybody now knows that it was not just Russia and Ukraine that led us to where we are today. We are new. That story, I don't know. I don't know. I'm saying, Shadan can ye kakra. Rather, no, he was absorbing certain people of blame. And an American, the Bank of Ghana deserves a lot of the criticisms for where we are today, and of course the finance ministry. So that one, I wasn't particularly pleased, but I can say that the good thing probably going for Dr. Bawumia is that he has integrity in a way. Obianchi, who has some say, or corrupt, and now he's been part of any corruption gig via Akoswa Enye. Most of the times you hear it is rather from the presidency and all of that. Maybe, just maybe, that is what will save him, because you see, apart from that, which is what Osha, getting to the end of the speech, he was telling you he's different. That he believes in integrity, he believes in fairness, he believes in meritocracy. That's a good thing. I'll take him on his word on those. But in terms of the substance of a lot of the things that ought to be done, I got a few, but I didn't get so much the boldness and the newness of it. What's in American Actually, so some of them too, we didn't put any numbers to it. We can be able to say, I've forgotten what this point I wanted to make. But some of the tax measures, for instance, flat tax what percentage is it that dealing? What percentage? Because flat tax before Breno, meaning that we do 3% for small scale businesses. I wanted to hear a percentage, because flat tax is a good thing, and Osaka, Estonia, and all those countries have done very well with flat tax. And in Obiachi are the same thing. I mean, but it's a band of either individuals or businesses. I said to me, who said, "Oh my, flat tax is 5%. This is how much it will save the economy, or to bring back revenue to the economy. I mean, savings to the economy." He didn't say that. Maybe you do that some other time. But Nehemiah can say, Now we are at war. We need numbers. We need things to hold on to. Not just pecking at things and leaving them hanging. But otherwise, all in all, I think it was not a bad speech. It was encouraging, and it's somehow around its base. The one thing Okaya say, I am the Kakra so say 15 ministers, no. Because I'm posted here 14 hours ago, we can say one of the best things that should ever happen to this any administration is that we should have 15 ministers. Because the current size of Office of Gun Machinery, over 1,000 workers will go on. So economy now, the way we have it right now, what are they doing there? They can probably 14 hours ago come on Facebook survey home. They should reduce them to about 300 and reduce the number of ministers to 50. I'm glad that the President Bawumia heard it and said he's going to commit to 50. That I'm glad. From 50, a lot of things could flow, for which is not calculated yet. But I think that could be also helpful. And see, maybe a little grooming could have helped. So that, as I said, no, the first 1 hour could have been avoided. And then giving us a bit more specifics.
Okay.
But in terms of how bold and new things are, I didn't get that much. But we can say that apart from the commitment to reducing the size of government, commitment to ensuring that there's fairness and integrity and truth in politics, well, those ones, I give him some marks for them. And so we'll take it like that for the meantime.
For the meantime, yeshwe ni muse bia manifesto no bebanona detail ya bana possible say betumi apie ho no mo.
Oh yes, without a doubt, because manifesto no most of the, in any case, a lot of the things he said today will find their way in there. What the manifesto no it has to give us some specifics, timelines and all of that. Because everywhere, so no. We are able to make MBO. Even these 15 ministers, we wanted to know whether it would be from day one. Now, so by the first half, not second half. Now, it's Musa, now you're training him to send another, you're training him, so one year is so pakokra. We don't want to hear things like that. But I think that we will see that in the budget, in the manifesto. Yeah. Otherwise, they did well, as I said, he has stamina, and just that OSHA vibes now, it is not 2016, so a lot of it was not really catching on. But again, he expressed a lot of optimism, which is good, which is very good.
Afe yemra sane waka say integrity no bi na katahye ne proye ni we wabɔ honom but ne nipa bebre kan say amamuo na ekoso enei wo Ghana no yentumi nka nyima mpani abedi akire emfiri mu sa akoyie sikasemu sa ankoyie enhyehyeye bi wo ho a oyi ne ho firi mu a enyeye enne ne message a wode twudwa enese ewom sa economic management team no meka ho media ni mo bi wekasa me hede ba nya decision ye need decision making powers ya de ne se ye kyerɛ adwen ɛhɔ no ye betumi aka se ogina so akyerɛ se da bi mu a mo de tag me se me ana me lead economic management team no ntimi yi me ho free mu enye ye ene wa bekyerɛ mu se omu ni decision making powers so se brofo o ka to ho no mu ana wo yi ne ho free mu enye ye.
Okay. And no man's on 50-50. 50% of it is a bit true. I'm a living witness to some of the deals that went on, for which clearly his advice was ignored. That one I know. The other part, which is a bit difficult to accept, they say, well, I didn't know government, and the same way you are taking credit for some of the things that have gone on, you should be able to take credit for the bad things that went on. So it leads me to the other point. Some of the proposals this evening about corruption, they are not watertight. They are not heavy. Digitalization alone won't cut it. Otherwise, why? We have a lot of some of these digitalization projects going on, which are all just chronic capitalist arrangement, drawing money like blood from us. We monitor famous SMLs, they are digital solutions. Right? But they are multi-million-dollar solutions that are wasting away. We are paying $1.5 million. And make us say, you are $1.5 million every month since 2017 to fight telcos. Is it telcos for a year? Since then, what to say? We'll be actual report said telcos, MTN and BB. What to be there? But yet, Tiao, Mamiasala, Ogusu Mank of Oscar, $1.5 million as we speak every month. Why? It's a digitalization project. We don't need that type of approach to fighting corruption. Something he said today, which I don't really agree with him. Yes, it can catch a few thieves here and there, petty thieves. Some of the savings now all kind of crowd. No, it's a friend is saying. I mean, if you digitalize, yes, you can save some money, but they were just millions compared to the multi-million-dollar money we are wasting through mega deals. No. No, I think I want to hear a bit more. And to answer you directly, let me rehash. One, I saw some of the contracts, obviously, that he was just helpless over, which was pushed through. I'm aware of that. I spoke with him about it. But there are other ones that I know that obviously, like I said, then what it means is the government gets praised, you take it. But when it gets accused, you say, oh, I know their own count. It's a bit difficult for people, but I can also understand when he says that if I were in the driving seat, I wouldn't have done that. And then my first-hand experience of that one makes me give him at least 50% mark. But the other 50%, he won't get it because, indeed, he takes praise when it's due, and then when he can't pick and choose, really. Well, and see, corruption, to be fair, this administration under Nanado hasn't done well at all. In fact, their best is John Mama's West. And I don't think that is what we want. We want something different. And the proposals he brought up, I'm not too sure they are too bold to fight corruption. You see, what he needs to do, maybe what he said this evening, which may help a bit, needs a value for money. But no, that's all kind of year. But value for money for what? How do you assess value for money? Before any mega project will go on, have a few people within your administration who are acting like assessor generals. Before I back up PPP, share project let's do our own internal introspection, even before it goes to PPA. But at PPA, how crap would just be normal blessing because one year now the people will pass behind, set up all sorts of fictitious tender bots, and then rig the system. We saw it through the EC procurement. It was just a law school. Just the following day of law school, you had the tender committee. And I'm more max, and I'm more 83 plus 11, I'm say 105. You see, we don't want that type of arrangement. That to fight corruption. Apart from value for money, it has to be done properly by a group of people, not more than 3 people who are being. You can rotate every project. If it is drainage related, you bring an expert who knows how to do costing in drainage construction, and you get it done. And they are not really connected to the system. It's about the real fact. At the moment, you go PP on one share, never two, no one can for mega projects, I think he needed to come a bit more. Digitalization, the way he's talking about, he won't cut it when it comes to fighting grand theft and grand corruption. So that's a straight answer to the question officer said. Would he be able to appropriate and basically decide that he takes credit and doesn't take credit for some? Yeah. And no one ding. Can say, because I'm a living witness to at least first-hand experience on 1 or 2 contracts that I'm aware of. That one, I know how helpless he looked, and it wasn't helpful at all. So I could relate. But yeah, I can say, okay, then it will mean say, okay, but what about the ones that probably you're taking credit for? Well, a government takes liabilities and assets as he or she meets them, right? So that's what I expected. In fact, what I expected this evening could have been a mini CJ Kayan. They should just give us a liabilities column, an assets column. That presentation would have been fantastic. The assets maybe a forget about Russia, Ukraine, maybe a Jenny. At the end of the day, I ever move. First for debt testing, may make sure say, may be 2025 and not 2026. Are we going to borrow? One country we don't know whether we're going to borrow and how we're going to borrow against what. Revenue making mechanisms now, well, they may look nice, like the flat tax, but he didn't give any rate. VAT or several abolish VAT on electricity. Well, maybe that's a good thing. That means he wasn't part of it. He abolished e-levy, which is a good thing. But all of these are just bits and pieces. We wanted a grander picture. So I can say, sir, maybe he's still formulating a lot of things, and we'll see how it turns out. But otherwise, it's a good platform to have conversations over.
With that bold decision, say, and never to me a Gina Simpie so for the first time, Obeka Sachi or Mamfo, now that very day Obeka say, levy me ba metrum. And no, dear some ne catch the yen say, levy ne bano. Now he was not in favor. There be men tiasie, there be munyai, and ye near the bar, ya, nasa because suddenly okay, and ye many be on one, won't you mean your bold in Suba with levy or say, me ba metrum, and no dear neka.
You see, you can infer from his body language and the statements he make. Obviously, as a finance minister, no one can answer one as a one born in Dim by name Grapple. He referenced the finance ministry just once or so. Osha and Oma, governor of the Bank of Ghana, rather much praise, which is a bit distorting. But from then we can also infer that yes, he never really saw eye to eye with the finance minister. At least I know that for a fact. This IMF thing, and obviously this whole thing about the e-levy, obviously he did not. So that's why he could say boldly that yes, I don't think the e-levy, I'm going to abolish it, right? But I know what you also mean. Then he could have said it all as well instead of waiting and saying it now. Anyway, and now can Satan na me nepa me kasa yenti. So I will do A, B, C, D. Maybe we may be asking too much of him right now, but at least to the extent that he's committed to abolishing the e-levy, it's a good thing. I just want a bit more specifics on some of the other things he's saying. Look, the speech could be summed up in this regard. One, the first hour shouldn't have been spent on praise singing because that's not what we needed. We are not at a campaign rally. You are going to tell us how bold and different you are going to the future. But to start off from that rocky ground and then suggest that everything that happened was okay, except Russia, Ukraine. I don't think he played well on that particular score. And I was actually expecting a bit of apology for taking us through the path that they took us through, especially debt exchange and all of that. And no crap, even if he wasn't party to it, he could have said sorry on behalf of whoever took us through it, right? He could have said that. But to make it sound, say, Fiancosuji said Russia, Ukraine, it's not entirely right. It's not correct. That one, yes, Romeo is a good friend, but we've got to tell him as it is as well. I don't think he started on that faulty logic. But secondly, no, American say, some of the ideas he mentions are okay. They are not necessarily that bold and mean, but they maybe are allowed. To the extent that all kinds of private sector will be given the pride of place through flat tax and also other forms of taxes, and allowing the private sector to take the lead in infrastructure, it's a good thing. But you have to be careful because in private sector too, you can have chronic capitalist arrangements. It's a hard one I say. So the private sector is a good thing. But you see, but that has been the mantra of MPP anyway. MPP is supposed to be a center-right think tank. Center-right party. So they believe in the private sector. Unfortunately, what has gone on in the last 7 years has been a reversal of that thing. They sounded more socialist than even NDC themselves, taxing everything that moves until it can move again. And for him to even say that, it's as if he's begging to even find his own identity. To say, I'll give private sector the pride of place. That is what you are. That is what, as a party, you were born into. So you should just leave it and act it. But it's good, sir. He mentions it, and it's a good thing that at least we are hearing it from him. And we'll see how the private sector actors will be chosen and all of that. It's a good thing. The third and last point I was going to make is the agenda is set for the future for some of the high-ticket things that have cost us, like corruption. I'm not too sure he was quite bold and bullish on the way to fight it. Besides, he didn't even talk about punishing people who have done quite a lot of wrong. I don't want to make kind of say he's a bit mute on some of the things that have gone on. At least he's aware. So you should be able to say that, look, some people who may have done A, B, C, D, I know it's your own party, but you should be able to say that you won't tolerate that going into the future. You see, that makes you a bit bolder. Otherwise, just saying that I fight corruption, I'll respect my aristocracy, those may be termed as mere words. You see. But, well, as it goes on, we keep on shaping the policies and see. So campaigns in a woman, we see how best we'll be shaping the politicians' viewpoint and all of that. But I think his analysts could have done an extra job of just keeping it focused on where we are and where we are getting, how we are getting out of it, and how we are going to get out of it. That is what I expected.
Yo, Mr. Kujo, ya do be see anwumre minim say Imani Africa for this year. Mwani bedi ache na ya hwempanimfo na eyi omuti ni nyina no. Messages omode ba say ya de tonsen ya so say ya kai NDC message amampani dada John Dramani Mahama even though so se meji adwenkyere no na ya de be compile manifesto no bodu ba bia o ka bi meye wei ne nananom be kan se masom.
Sana ya moye into sha minkatu Osha Bibi money, a friend critical analysis of manifesto promises before we even do the manifesto analysis. Because Osha manifesto number trends are got 1 month and not 2 months the election no more diaba. I don't know to mean your time scrutinizing. Into your more can corner. They said and then Bamia Cano and I John, we are now tobacco and all of those. We are collecting and analyzing them as we go. But that's a real manifesto analysis.
Yeah, behwe mo mani di akire naja musumuti ewia because this year na ba no aye betro no ne ye hwe animu ni se Ghana ni bi ekoto a na batro na woto no nka se ma sori keke kwa akoto aba me pese we na ba die message na wanya wo de kwa akoto aba no eti modie ne ba ne yesu ye di akire ne atumi ko because ministers dey a wo kan independent candidates ye yi omuti na no ba ko ba ha say Dr. Samankra wo so no regional ministers kora wo nfa bi nya adwuma ministers wafa 20 eti obia message ne ye totobo yen ti kwanya e befa so ne access ne aso ne so ahu se wei eye feasible e be yie o kane keke minim se momo abebam ye da se anwumri.
Mr. Madafi, thank you very much. Good night.
Abusia eni ayeti ye Owura Franklin Kujo, President ma Imani Africa, eni ene no atwetwe enkomo no. Eriko parliament sa adwenche yode aba osi akua Medie Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia metie na sem no menyi ni se owade papa bia ma wo man Ghana niema mpani na nado ye no a niema chese amo man no atititia agija ye ne hwe enye no eno a na wo ba beto aso wahu mobile money semia ene waka na mobile money ben Eriko Paimensa ne die no master planner junior Ediwe Fikentampo ena eba osi wow Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia oye nhyira ma oman Ghana osi akua ene mitie na mani atata nsuo mani asi nyina me wuro nsuo se ya etimedi adesede na mede to Ghana fo anim se emfonso se ye be ye mfonso se ye kwoto amamanyoko fufuro bi emfonso no be hayen abusua ba Facebook YouTube ayedem live wo hono mo wadwenche no fa bi fa ho ne ehia se obebo Adom 106.3 FM ene oba video no enen ye course ewo University of Professional Studies African and Aroma odi bi atumu ewo hono mo mampani data adwene jekum kofo ene adansi a wodi defa mampani abedi akire Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia ho baby ochia no ene adansi no wadi bi na wesu de ayode aba Thomas Boateng o say Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia o ya chede ye nyamede na dom o my Ghana ena Joe Louisville so den de you adwenkyere no Bros Babs o say akua Bawumia all the way oberin ejabata Putin or the fishhum na eba koti suhum o say akua Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia chese o say Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia wa ban ena wode taxes ayire Ghana for sa who the same person yi so no se mampani abedi akide na wo ho na sa atroi wo mo de yire ye ne adenden se opese ye to abama wonti wo se to no me ba meyi na nyamo maban ena chese mo de tax na ayire yen akua mesrew ka kire o mo se o mo mfa obuo mani pa ye to aba wo mayi mu e se nya ba foforo no waka kire ye se aban bi na te so no de tax bi aba na wo be ye afiri ho se irevia mo ana mo ye eti utwa ho abeyi ono so ne de jabata de yode aba no we de yode aba Joshua Segbaji o say akua youth no ye bro ye bre ye nya ya adwen say ye betietie nsem bi a emwa yen ye bre papa maso ado o say bi wa mechia mo mehwe mu fi Germany na MPP amanyuko no all the way MPP amanyuko no Asantisa was the man on a mission Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia on so ne de no kwadwaje o say egua Debbie kwadwo Debia meka se wo de opese ye kane a twira asem mu a ye betumi akan wo betwa da pa bia bedidi obi atemu a ye nkan atemu ha mano edu mano mahohoro Kofi Akpalu LPG kofa bae ya wode eba ye no Liberal Party eja Kofi
yeah
afishapa
officer say na be president of Ghana
mama wa Adom FM baako mo afisa na che say na wo ye mampani na wo you ministers awi ana na agusu yi
say the ministers there ekwa me kan say me yini tem omo 39 ministers so Kenya composed say so far regional minister kwa dia ene Canadian den communal be 23 ministers but they say so far regional ministers in Tino and be 39 ministers
tina say odo de en 10 men koye omo a by be first 4 years kura na appointments ye nyenwie ye ne da so bubodin wo de en ntisa
da bi kura
na megidi senne mampani abedi akire ya wayi ni chie MPP amanyoko no so se ono na wo mudi tumi ahye ne nsa woni wanim no wontu franka 2024 abatwe emu na sam odi akotudwa ose ne vision na nisuade hunu taking bold decisions for a future dache wa kasam no a wunya daji tie bi
mi tie bi pa na mum GTV for na omamo aye kra
Omo yode
oma moye kwa because kasa ni bibo bia kasa ne ma so on say feed no joy for first feed ni free GTV oma moye kwa we kwa no in fact kamene se kamosa to me say de na kwaku ani do ho wo sa to me na kabana nka hesu GTV go aso mo sheda say almost sabotage program no
wonyi ni se fidie de toda na fidie ye de ye adwuma itimi twa ne ho kire hinke o
we dia na no odin
ompad na
no odin ekua e say we say ni panic kasa asem na so utimi tie mu yi na sabio also o pense mo twa pense mu yi because only Ghana fo nyina na kasa na GTV for be body say wo me anti asem kra but when they kwa e be fanisa
ajo ya fanisa ya hwe kakra wo te ye de ahe pa na abetumi aka se ne na me hwe animu se matie ni mate ne na me hwe animu se ebebani mantie no
in fact nyema yura Bawumia be kan ye no fando do na omu UFI LPG manifesto fando do na omu LPG manifesto
Kofi
we to say
de ahe no ma fa free manifesto na wo manifesto no watwere wie de aba abonten ya obi be wie mo ade
president that was that o
and I say previous one no na wo be sa de aye
no ye repeat
na amanfuo tutum enti we
o fire ni wani be but yeah
de ahe nyaboche
o wa papa no be fire
eja Kofi de ahe na o ma fa free mu ye wo de
and money dosun ye tax plans dina so say ka say ye be ma mo for file tax ye be reduce taxes ama said you are affordable ama ma for timetia eto Ghana no ye say o ma fani ya so ye ka say ye buy me try levy mu and also o ma fa
Etino just say but we am say kasa uti papa. So Etino o want to send a money be but just say someone Akikano me metina sinamitia fando do na no senye seminar me ba next year ababe president of Ghana enka ono ba sane man o Canada in fact kebebo Ghana so kebebo Ghana tikiu ne sa tasia o so ba we container no flat rate no 40 feet unum de ubitia 20 feet unum de ubitia I think say ebebo ma businessmen o matumi plan ye o ko fani ma ba betoma o mi say ebo sei na medeba na die ba ko a eye pa ye say o so be say duty na yitua no ye ni lomi for die be pe so say da bia obi an fani ma go fa to go bia fa magana bi because okotogwa ebo na betua no sa na betua no Ghana I think it makes sense because Argentina Togo haye now more port and nema for now other factor madia ya yero de you know I think it makes a lot of sense it makes a lot of sense and we share technologies as well or castle mode jumani ada no and also ababwa say with the help of technology no only quite say dia over there bibia so this kind of kutuaka o pese o jebosia wo Ghana o ya ba adwuma na o ya adwuma to say mo adwuma ya mo ya you should be able to buy a car you should be able to buy a house oh yeah the dama wa I mean say akura minim dan a wutim say wa wo dia ana say wo rent fa na say do na mo to say mo dibia no the do na ha dan a o mutua no less than 1,500 cedis a month for rent. You should be able to buy a house with that money now with you for 1,500 for 25 years and not 30 years to get your own house. It makes a lot of sense. Say over ma start technology na here juma ama with the Ghana card. No Ghana card na obaba your Smith number and one your tax number and one your BBR. Fantastic. I mean just never know kind of do na no tax mu se Ghana ha ni nyina de amanyo sem le to nchen ni nyina ya ka adwuna bom na ya boa mu ya hye o man na I think say be boa pa mo man na timatumpon I mean what kind of bibia me fi say ye amayuku no ye no mo ya adwen o nyama bibia ho especially with the say PPP no say ne bibia na sa pan na ene dia say ye private sector na ban no one how because a coin of we quite is Accra to Takrady. Why should it be owned by government? I say a private sector. You know, private sector no more come on to first one. Make you to be a mean one and Sabi was once and would be Takrady. I don't know when you say I'm soon to be a Quarimuso Atre, Kumasi to Boga, and I said no Vrongo. Oh, and I said Kumasi to Paga. A quantity de Musa straight and now to Sandema to Accra on the more. Yes, I be a 3 lanes it will do now traffic for the tour. I mean, you won't complain. And also, you say, and now buy the private sector. And no private, I buy first come for years, I am man, Emma buy one channel. No, you see, time man, I drink now, Maniano, some best of more. I'm happy, say. When some of us you can't say more radio to the omutie now mapikidi ambeso mode ebebo mine good say about to better 2024 it's going to be issue based the way to me aye and about the attack you be can do it me na Ghana for you so no more to abamount me ba tax you may we made say no be so Canada say na msumba me say msumba me tanema abuche ya abuche no enye entokwa abato nye ntokwa bakoko and say yes ye beto aba wo UK ama obi afa aba de ko boru nyokutrim adai obi aka ne de you know I'm happy say enra em say you are to maintain enra nansan ne obi ne forum o ka ne de do betumi aye fantastic. Next so we were Naomi so be candidate kama ebeboa em say ntebia o ma pagin mahama so be candidate as over 24-hour economy no money other day. Oh, this is how politics should be. Obian can do between aye. Ye dey say money dey say be ye say akura bia boso so e betua ne ka. Onya adwuma e betua ka. And the so far no obian tin me pa that policy no from e bia because the bia no dey e kuta ya betum ja ya de.
O say akura bia betua akura bia ka.
Oh yes. Check by many of you me say me my nya ho. Ne won kwa ni na wa botle. Bosumi pia e brother ikan eni tia nkuraneka. Enra eni tia nkuraneka enra. But you say kaneba o ma me ho. O ma me so me no ka say what me tia ha. Enra abeton account tu. Nti no e kwa fa so a obedi tubutu no. Ono ni kwa fa so obeye. Sabe pese me ye no Ghana. Eti abatan no bosumi so ne kana beto account tu. Na o de hwe nkura no. Eno nyina eboa eno man no mutumi eye de. Na obi bie business a so ene de Tuesday de betua boboka ti se be krum ti obi store na say no point because before be tarde sa le bia economy ene ma adwuma ba o mining eti ni ne akua ti be say onya adwuma betua ka enye ade a difficult because it is o mining here na say o to ade a ede a betua VAT no e ba ban ho ti skapa na ban dem ma say as unemployment benefit and as a child benefit, you know. Most soon the moment I better again a mufa a quabai because which you have back. Oh, you are corner of got on your money business because so which your corporation tax. Well, you can be kofia which your tax on the dividend, that's income tax. Workers of the form where you which your muka, which your income tax, which your snake. You know the quabai. It was a second air revolve it. Workers no kurampo no kakana common zemono. Omero target so message VAT. So you see, this is how we build an economy. Money must circulate always in the economy to generate demand activities to create jobs. As an accountant, you know, I believe that you have to pump money into the system all the time. Now my economy no go come up. No bia so ti o mine no. You want hano. It will be business or when that's what say business na be ni post come better. Sa so na bank so ma bosia so scam dey money pa ko business yi e dia obinya paso abetua e kana na economy no ye den na koso na koso it no let's say bia e kana sa keke say oh the future is keke. We know what the monies will do when you pump those money into the economy.
This year dear say Jan ne be ye ne say debate no presidential debate ne ye be ye ne ntem ye be ne ntem na ya hwe ne wo message ne wafa ne yonko message ne baby akeka kono je se ye ne ntem na ye hwe ne ode na no ka keke ne obetumi aye ti aja kofie boabo ho wai
Matimedo me bobo mano me ko ma bo ho nada kan dem do frebi bia no ma ya ho bo ate meba
ye da se anwumre pa ye da se o da anwumre ma
so mama konya we
o nhira so ma me fa nsi ha anwumre abusua Kofi Akpalu LPG Liberal Party ena wono ode ne de amaye no on de o se ade ne de na chese amanfo sesa na nisu ade hunu sa abusua mwadwe nche no mudi bi aba kwasi wusu se ebiwai Kofi Akpalu meka se mempena asem anamboa o good ideas se oba o man bi te se Australia manu emu a akua wunim se enkwada nyina yetua wo kasa ne all kan efri bra ye be wo nkwada no kosi se ombedi 18 years no yetua wo ka etidie nti ne ntimi nya bi e wo Ghana ana patient mensa o se akua mehwe mu free adwuma ko enya na siem o se MPP se MPP pa besan atena o man Ghana so se wo mu di o man so bi enye ye ensi so nya de se besie ana ma oni obi na edi nkomo hu kwa me kozi de ayi ode aba o se akua mesremo media no mo ayen na mo advocate for debate among presidential candidates no ye behwe se so do ma do so mbro ba yi nti no akwa Kofi ne da pop pako ne Dr. Simon coming back to America chada mu nyina wo mu no nti no de yegu so Dosavi Mensa Eric Osiekua Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia is the solution. He is the answer. Ono ne yenkenia from Dosavi Mensa or say ne de yo de aba no say Kuapem North na mewo mitie mo anwumre mamenko NDC amanyoko no mu Deputy General Secretary ma NDC amanyoko no ene Mustafa Gbande Mustafa majo mini abema
ojo ko minia
apomu
radia Adom
anwumre sane wanu asi adin de mi gidi se nanim watimatie mampani abedi akire ne nasem ode atwedwa ne vision ya wo so ode bai
ya tie bi me de edu ba bi na majai a sabio ma kwa Netflix
no Netflix wana ode na da ho akwohwe
no ni ompanyi ka no
na
sabio
na bedi akire
sabio previous ompanyi assistant zi ade oba FPP Blackberry anani all kana enso na afi gbogbo no aye ayese agrubi na omampenye ne omanu edie sabio ni die kwan so ayi ohwe
Mustafa ansa na abeto aso no wo sese nu uhu ne se odi mampani na wie wo because o kan no o se mampani na me correct okra se odi MPP amanyoko na nimti wanya ye mampani wo hu
onye akwala sabio ni die kwan so o ye vice president
ti mampani abedi akire
na obi mampani abedi akire ya wakabebre digitalization good ma omandia okwa bruchira sabio omum tikesika wo mubotom sesere ye Ghana ekutesika wo ebotom digitalization obia epe na the economy of an individual ni panobotom ne asetrem asem preliminary no say omampenyi ka say for example you digitalize the hospitals now who could do hospital now nkofo a wo move no the brain crime to be yes country and trade ro the brain to be yes ka wo mo de ebeye eye afẹ wo mo ho na digitalization na wo ka no e ho mfa so de say you digitalize the hospital. What is the level of data protection in the own Kahwasem? Digitalization in a hospital, not a man a paying for Edda Fomua. One more call Pramunia and Pa and Naso. Ambulances are a bet me a boy. A mani area. A bit to be a rushing in the hospital on your baby. All these systems are not working. Or say, and renewal of health insurance, a digitalized, but government hospitals and other private hospitals are all registered as service providers and the national health insurance. They are not willing to provide services because government is not able to pay. I buy a car, yet the service providers. They might use more health insurance. The worst system of the national health insurance is the one we are experiencing under President Akufo-Addo now. We are now the health insurance co hospital. Para Krawinya now so Bawumia saying the president because we tini a renewal of national ID card digitalized no. That's say what digitalize here what hospital no. Now won't in trade room. Now young card no fancy or yare that we no and pass over the room.
Mustafa
And
Mustafa boy. When was the last time I would card no call hospital parakra no when you be?
Me say, see ya kai wati pu nyina tie. Say anokra ne ka omutie. No enso ne yetwa omutie. Waba ba ya no baba ya ababa na no yi. E Ghana for so nim hawo a wo mu. Omampanyi e ka for planting for food and jobs. Now one who planted for food and job will
Mustafa ne me bisa ne se me pese yetumi esi sudua nti na me se ade a na nsenye mu na wo de card na call hospital a
and then I do a year say would the National Health Insurance call hospital yeah
hospital ben
me ya home me nya obi a ye beka say man reader o government hospital be open ho evidence for health insurance call hospital the health ye be wa
I'll have to me check it
because facilities the amount of money buying the womoka for services having been provided claims are National Health Insurance NPA facilities go and find out
who say claims no nko na say obeka say o de card no kwa yan
me say ade amienu na me ka me say pa o card na call hospitals e see a na he aduru a won de be ma ya real no so no say Wama ya ma claims are cost buying Tiaka. So I've said two things. Go and check what TF1 to TAB. They are the victims of this corruption under this government. In two things, you need more evidence. Go to the hospitals, speak to the facilities as a journalist, speak to Ghanaians on the streets. Go and speak to a matter here,
Mustafa.
Health insurance now. Hope. So only Sikadia and Kaban Asonasia, Obetimianya and Pomodin. Go and ask them.
Mustafa, Nyabotre wo kasenumu because oka na wa mame time said that saying na me call ye say me mediature you must give me information na wo kano I can't even do the follow up.
Digitalizing hospital no have you been to the hospital to find out that your records have been digitalized? Have you done that? Send your crew to go to the hospital. Send your crew between digitalization and Ankofua which one is more important? It is not about speeches. If you have failed, you have failed. His Excellency is telling us that rice importation have reduced in Ghana. How much is a bag of rice in Ghana? We have reduced rice importation as compared to 2016, 2015. And now you can say a mobile gear near 170 Ghana cities. It is 700 cities today in Ghana. And also Bagasameboa. Udi Mudebia, Bagasameboa. And planting for food and job, no, a collier saying. The year Yakoya planting for food and jobs. The Ghana Fosika question. Look at the cost of goods and services in the country. Milk boy is saying, Milo boy is saying, and now say 2,000 Ghana cedis. You cannot afford a carton of Milo for your children. The economy of the ordinary voter is in the pocket. It doesn't lie on speeches. Ghana for Breno, that is the most important thing that we must be dealing with. It is not about digitalization. It is not about speeches of theorists. Dr. Mahmoud Baumia said, Bank of Ghana, said Bank of Ghana, family woman, zero loan and the financing. Bank of Ghana, Bank of Ghana have made 600 million losses. Aboka, they are building a new headquarters. $250 million headquarters. A country that the vice president acknowledges there. We have had difficulties because of external forces such as COVID and Ukraine-Russia war. Lack of prioritization of government. And in the midst of the suffering Ghanaian, the vice president, who is the deputy governor of Bank of Ghana in the past, can watch for Bank of Ghana to be building a headquarters. Is that a governance we want? And now, loan Oko Bank of Ghana, every worker at the Bank of Ghana, one cost our year addition per month is close to $5,000. This is 2022, 2021. School buying the economy, school buying any economy. Go and see the amount of loans our Bank of Ghana per worker. Any Bank of Ghana today. Now so Bank of Ghana when the Bank of Ghana is printing money, contravening its own laws, the Vice President says, the number of people who died during COVID, Auditor General have proven that government officials were stealing money during the COVID time. The Vice President says we should clap for him. He has managed the economy well. He wants to be a president under this immense corruption. Broad day stealing. Auditor General report is speaking to it. And now go and check. Well, the number of vehicles that they are repairing because of bad fuel. Vice President and in the deal, in the name of gold for oil. Go and check. I am a victim. Dirty fuel. Gold is the one selling the most dirty fuel in this country today. Go and check. Vice President, Ghana Tour, Eco Commission, a new tour that belongs to private individuals. Also, and seven that you collapse state institutions and prioritize private institutions. What belongs to the country should be destroyed. And now I can say go to Tilma. Chinese companies have imported over 5,000 tankers into this country. All Ghanaian transporters of oil have collapsed. Their businesses are no longer functioning. Vice President say Emmanuel may be president. Go and check from the north. Vice President Becca said he is leading the One Village, One Dam project. Go and check OMG loans. Go to the north. You can't find a single dam that has been constructed. Is it not fraud? Is it not dishonesty enough? Is it not causing financial loss to the state? Led by the initiatives of the Vice President, of Yamuan Sabmano, Niamanamedi President. Were you not sitting in this country? Mediaba, after any at ye, extra, your pens and pensemu, near the Ahuano Ababisiha, Nagana Fubu. This is not the time. Vice President, I will say, or no, the president. Ilevia or Hesomaya Passayano or the council. But you want to take this person seriously? Really?
Na and then some
Ilevia or no advocate here. Say, we need Ilevia. Ilevia. Our headache will stop. There will not be any economic crisis in this country. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia led that crusade.
Say, Yentia E-Levy.
Yentia E-Levy. Or say, Oba President, he will cancel E-Levy. And then, Vice President said, emission levy can offer Akadema Nanu Yano. Or no by President, Obechum. Now, how do you differentiate President Akufo-Addo from Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia? How do you even differentiate that?
Na Mustafa Nyumre na samo kan ye no. Se utie ni okan de fa ne position as the vice president and as a head of the economic management team say that body no say will take decision that power no omudi no eya adwenkyere etu pani bi a wote so fo nti edru say decision why na what the final say na eya mampani
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is a repackaged third-term presidential bid of President Akufo-Addo ne Gabinum and the Kedofuriatamo. I'm telling you. He is not a man of his own. It doesn't make sense to try and decouple Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia from President Akufo-Addo. You can't. Obia no advert or the speech to be on his own. President Akufo-Addo's achievements. How can we then use one man to commit so much crimes against this country and then making every effort to whitewash him? Ghanaians are not naive. Ghana for engineer, many abayaka naive. Ghana for nebre.
Yeah, that's
they don't take school fees from anybody.
Yeah, that's it.
They don't take feeding from anybody. If you go to the market today, you know how much goods and services are costing. And then light bill, you're saying. And then we call high down you're saying. That is the economy of the Ghanaian people, not tourists.
Mustafa,
Ghanaians don't need digitalization. And see, we will respond to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia appropriately, sentence to sentence, word by word. We will expose him totally for Ghanaians to see who he is. But let me state that no one should try to decouple. You can't separate President Akufo-Addo from Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, or as a vice president, as head of economic management team, who need to be who take a decision. That means he's very incompetent. He does not understand his work. He's not experienced, and he doesn't even understand his position that he occupied as a vice president.
From more understanding, no, the head of the economic management team take a decision. Say ye be ye winner a go to.
The head of economic, no government works in a macho state. Every government works in teams.
Mm-hmm.
And the economic policies of a country is what defines the strength of that government. And now, like I say, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia said, economic management team, and to me take a decision, but a certain economic management team was able to maintain single-digit inflation for the longest time in the history of our country, and that was under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as a vice president. We will go into all comparisons at the right time.
Yeah, that's it. Abusia Deputy General Secretary ma NDC Amanyuko no Mustafa Gbande eni atene nka na ejaba Putin odi en kra de maka na Unisa komase akua mechia wanwumre mesre Ghana for se ye po bi a all vision ye po bi a chese obetumi ama man na gina ne naso a policies ahoro a Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia betumi aye ena ne odi aba begu pono so ka che Ghana for no ohun se ade no ani ada hono ono as the vice president and Kanoforiata position as the finance minister when sensunsun ye wom echi waka Ghana fontie na wonyina so entro aba ema no NSK Bimpon wo se akua mehwemu free achim kusi both NDC ne MPP amanyoko ni nyina no chese omo deny yen omo chiti yen by using bad rules ene eniema bia enkai wose yen saka no omomfa mayen edu sabiri ya no mabeka na kwan na dien no mabekeka akua wuni nkwa bibrem ene denche more districts brana behwa kwan pa ye wo ho no mo ena Emmanuel Wusu de ayi ode aba osi akua asam no no wabisa Mustafa no ehimfa no ode National Health Insurance card no ko ya wo mo pam no se wo mo nhwe no ko kire ya nkeye was abaya asabi and maka say yebedi achi Adams Kofi ahin osi akua srewa Mustafa enka hospital no timbu din ma ye say ha ukọ ha yenye a kebe me de pa fi sese ne opeso oka ne yo no oja atum kọ no enye sa ne ye ade o say me na asemo aka na nwumre me ne nya adwen wan Janet Nabla General Secretary MPNC Amanyuko na Njijen Majwe
Mpatomi Jesu
Boko de
awo yi kudi mo bibia ye poko
ye de nyame ase enwumre unya adaji tie mampani abedi akira wodi MPP Amanyuko nanim utie ni message ode ba ye ne vision ya wo se Ghana for to abama na ode be ye adwuma 2024 beyond no utie ye
papa
And you now pesa otia na watie. And I also say bi akam.
Mami cheo ena omo amu mutie funina. Mutie papa mutie ye onyankopon se ye nka ne kre. Senya aya politics aye yes sorry ya meye way make sit point way ne blah blah they just had no like a one way of doing politics they are yes let me say or the new ideas they back into the system and I me say and political parties meaning na they say adopting some of the measures so that at the end of the day you debate a manifesto so obi we media because the all kind no so we share abia we omo be ye country we more what else do we need because corruption is a major problem and you create digitalization and solve the corruption problem we share Ghana first no omo ya no omo wo sika wo kwa omo wo sika pa na say omo ni sika na no omo wo no enye sika e fa coin papa so e corrupt money and say omo hold the corrupt money people will feel pain but long run a bit boy but at the moment pain na ye feeling no is difficult because obinye sika on ye juma bia na onye sika bebrea senya odi sika no onti se obi a oye juma o say juma we am ye no ni breye ansa na mama ni sika yi make ni so digitalization na oka no ne kwese ye nyina all the political parties ye be call digitalization ye nyina ye their policies on digitalization beba but the kind of meeting in a political parties the NCR ye institute political parties is to make the life of the people better. It's to make the life of the people better. In the Obama or see obey we no obey we and the also obey na it's for the betterment of Ghanaians. Now the meaning paper no say you lady now see like they will take it off. I wasn't happy about it. Because there are reasons why it's a will take it levy off. Now I IMF I borrow sika there. What they levy aye. It's levy no okansa no na somehow disturbed because ye say levy the levy money that is coming where are we getting it from? And no see ye be close potholes our port and the eke so eno dey na ewo problem but maybe me the okaya maybe me there because PNC for which yesu sadie na ewo ho na about the transportation ye can rent we the current office na kohwe obi wo ho a obekwa mu si on fa 2 years mbra on fa 1 year mbra de bia ye can same way ya can but still landlord sad dumana no mo ye can about public transportation system Ghana ye public transportation system GPRTU for almost in foreign car say ye to say ye say because they will have to match up with the public transportation. US, UK, and big Western countries. They are using public transportation. Private sector, business and doctors. But Ghana, Yenisika, and the BIA private sponsors or sorry, and also way out, up to price, it's a senior pay. And truth be told, and I wish there be a corruption pre-ban. The amendment of the constitution to reduce the powers of the president. Okay, and I am there. Kasa di obetimaka delivery no like implementation no. But okay, na ye hold onto it. To me one day being better any say minkai. What did they make? Because anyone say all political parties yembra na yembe can Ghana for the obetimaya. So that at the end of the day you cannot turn away. And away from for me make say before I be 2024 elections in December. It's a parliament almost reducing the powers of the president. MMDC for can. Say it is not good that the president should be appointed. It is not good. All the more election. Nipakuno election no okowini or MPP and now NDC. Now president maybe a different political party. Or more for who MMDC this now. Oh, the emphata. Oh, then more say the emphata. That is the check and balances we are talking about. Ya can MPP for Ombeka said, this is opposition. Ombeka said, when they come to power, they will implement it. More power, they will shift it. NDC, the same thing. And the way Omo Biateno is the best. Munkozi or president, because the Okaye no. Obia or president or president in Korea. Sisia Obedani na dream, I said baby Obeko. Because that things now Oka say no. You better councillor, in charge over the overall economy. The PBBA and to me president in saying council in charge. So what are your powers? Your powers have been reduced to supervisory level. So that we be supervision on the institutions and make sure that the institutions they work to the optimal. Where you say? You. And to conform, sorry, conform mind. They say, "I'm person, baby, Ghana, Sika." Yes, sorry, Debia president. A bit home. You see, it's a say all the political parties to come and tell us what they will do.
Some more Boamuaba.
Yes, you can't put digitalization this no. Obi frame me say obi sponsor me. Na ma ko baby for learn bibi and I see you Martin Meko just make me person me making sure say winter anyone make Marco, but I don't want to go there during the winter period. So the can say delivery no. Onyankopon say yen kan correct. Jesus Christ delivering it was good. And a delivery way yen kura. Let me play to 4 years we can queer. Let NDC bar. That we will have a very nice country. A country that anyone who become president, you don't have powers to do whatever you like. Number one. Number two, there is no money for you so that you can manipulate. Because digitalization of all money, transparency, baby. Not transparency, baby. We need to cut so that sycophants. Sycophants, so that we be this can be the norm. It is not the best. So the okay, me from an opposition political party. This is the mindset we should have. And at that time, no politics. Yes, we say now we are in Chum. Ghana for years, we are not developing this country. This country is not being developed by insults. And now some petty things are any agenda. So this will make PAC, NDC and other political parties, they have a drawing board. Because competition now, summon all the other political parties. But yes, we have for a drawing. But this is how we want it to go. Because PAC, we've been campaigning on policies. And can you PNC policy? You need NHIS. You care about get fund. You care about Ministry of Women and Children. Most of the things are school feeding. They're campaigning on policies. And can be campaigning on policies. You see, NPP and before they are now campaigning on policies. That is what they are now campaigning on. It is now time for everybody to go and do that. Even though PNC, we did not win political power. Our policies are being operated in this country. So, and second, we are political party. We need policy beer or Bibeka say, no, we are when I would buy it. It is not the best. Politics is not about just talking. Ghana 4 years Ghana. Political parties is bad. One just say political party way, obey Mashamana, obey no one names obey a family. Now I call you the head of the family. Look, it doesn't matter say you go opposition. Obi opposition now no only plans are in the famano. Now obi in opposition power. We are all coming into this. We are coming with our manifesto. Make sure that nobody say, are we this in fit for the position? If you want to say or opposition, opposition, they are protect protect and down to see our more fire and so that you're best sorry. I will say politics is no more in the olden days. What is what the President before Kaino? Or see, in the olden days politics, and yes, the whole world people are thinking of how to grow their economy. They are thinking of how to bring smart people into the system to help them to progress. And the sorry not they are about insults, about looking for faults from others. Because who say will be a fault? The policies neighbor. obi a won fashion ba oni for a fault bia enti men she show be fault she said you wo be ye
you
so PNC for from now onwards ye be who dey ye di beba
yeah that's it
even though we are also even trying bringing others on board
yeah that's it
the transportation system because now you can't about transportation system you can during coronavirus era now yes say senior na market for no and this in what is it called transportation GPR for the omudi year Ghana for during that period increase prices can yeah pan through policy direction the my government and one of this they say government should provide transportation like a real what is it train equity you bet even agreement with other country business people to come and instill these things in our country so that be running trains running crampa for maybe for 10 years and say they are Ghana for they should just make sure that the prices are low
so that campaign nature so oma fa my ideas ni bi oma wi bi wo hu
me see transportation side no you can transportation no during coronavirus era no you can say the reason why prices of things are getting higher and the Ghanaians are crying is because of transportation and food. Because transportation, government is not in charge. It's a private this economy that we are running when it comes to this thing. So obviously, I will to idea one city. No, the tongue more be 10 cities.
Yo, Auntie Jane Wunim, you better mo de no monyana mo famra ntem na o man sesa ni nyina. If some de na so mu yifiri mutim makoma yeah that's why. Abusia Auntie Janet Nabla General Secretary ma PNC amanyuku no eno no wo so omo so de no MPP fo afabi ofia kpalu si omo afabi na PNC fo so PNC fo so omo afabi Beni ni suzuma die so eni abusia wadwenche fa bibra Facebook YouTube na yenkenkan fama na ya wado adwenche ye odi afa YouTube aba wo se akua wunim se ene Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia wanka sembia o wanka bibia mampani die pa so obedi mampani die onyai enye ye ena Mr. Kabofo wasi wei ena owie wase wodi abase akua 21st century muni away 80 delivery we ya mampani abedi akire wo be ye ya na mo se ye nyina so na ye nto aba o say wari ni me vote owie ba bi o de be conclude ye no o say he's won my vote simple and what it to yours na se edu ajekum o say akua me hwe mu free London na ene Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia wakasa yie pa wakasa yie ena Isaac Kwame Jokpe ne de ayode aba ose akwie Ghana deserve president a yen reject no onko abato so ma Ghana fo nka asa yempew ya wo san aba Ghana fo deserve better nipa Ghana fo hia no enye ne ye de akodwa so akwa yento Isaac Krampa de ayode aba ose akwie am ye boma baso ne adwuma amoye na mo no kure ene maka na nwumre no ne mehwe animu ene se presidential candidates ni nyina obi abeye bold obeye firm na ne ombeka nyina no omo ebeka amanato asum abusua mi bie nwoma no atum na wadwenche ba akomienu ne dem amamu anye mamu a na chese ye dimu aburo 0302216561 na 0302216562 na Franco Trading Enterprise yeguso dawase se Papa Franco adawroma na niema pa se gadgets aye yusu ne fie ne computers air conditioners Franco TV nie abusua ye de aba o ye de aba onte ya ewodwa so onte ya kwadabraka edanye ne Roxy Cinema bus stop no di animhwe no udu ho Franco Trading Enterprise na enie eniema a wo begye no tabletop fridges wo ho ye wo washing machines wo ho CCTV cameras ni nyina bi e wo ho no mo hello
Edi wa ba ko pre
eja udin ba bia frefre
the queen of the airway ba ko gbo aduma
eyo mo
ami shira wati yo amoni fikere mi frefre to manje yo Mami Chia Frank Asiri Bequin, incoming MP for so. And then our next president, Dr. Mahmoud Alaji Baumina, and never surprised me, Papa. Meaning so big nyaye. And then you're dead, you know. It shows that on none of what's so bad to my pa, if Papa and Neku for why yes. She name of the two creme of the Penina. Ayampa, if you are trying to call, and this is phone, but it's swum the day and day. One was always here, Bambo Tita. It is a mechanism, Yamana one day, near Panentrasu, non twice my.
Yada se amwani Freddy Kasa Kisiedu Osiakuya nti Ghana pa ni etimsa no Ghana pa ni na His Excellency Swabin osemechia mu feature my West constituency Nyamishra Dr. Muhammadu Baumia. Hello
Everyone.
Eja udini baby afrefre.
Wa unya be ma abanya mikasa free ashama jenu.
Yo aban mi enti ominia.
Everyone, and my konya say your vice president, esan say na ye bo Nigeria and South Africa ball nti. Na my attention because in ko say my dad jembe etie obi a onu ni nyanse mu no. Interchanges ni akwan ya Ghana for no. Onu ni nyanse mu no. Ghana card hu won faso change anyema we nyina. Nti be de na mi makwa ko say my dad akwa ko tie no. Mitie ye na nkofo bi ka ho asem se ba omia we officer ye nkola obetu futregu yeni se yi levy na wo ka ho ma mu implement ye na mu parliamentarians ayari fokura mu di omu begu parliament mu omu betu aba no ene wo ba be ka che se wo be ye mampanyi a wo be yi levy efiri ho enti papa no wona na opeso odada no wa di atura ma ya bo wa bodiri se una oye de
Bana Jambara Osiakuya gradually political parties no they are improving when they say almost set smart objectives said ba with smart objectives no modeba no untimi nwane mfiri hu because asem na wo ka no Ghana for ye tie edu ho no mo a you account for assembly a wo ka good ideas from both parties NDC MPP. Hello Eja udini baby afrefe.
Your friend Yahaya.
Yo, Yahaya me and you.
Pacho, we station and the same Shremo Adebako. Who's a politics a nipa ibino life. Ghana for Yana Tuaba, Yana decided. And it's almost a seminar Munkoi old junior Tama Nipani there. Adia Waka any see our see the manner of a secondly so mudi mu panelists ni ba mu mo dey say mu be free communicate way e wa Accra mu free other parties so no ono to Accra ba ko free obi Tamalia no abaka say ya airport ya we esme ye ni ho ya wa Accra ye hu ye enti ma free dey ade a me share mu say mu so mu nyama ye floating voters no ye da wa say
yes ye da say Hello. Eja udini baby afrefre.
Medindi sokola la mkasafi mahia.
Yo sokola la mienti yo.
Everywhere. So multimedia juma woka ho. Beni ishi. Enti se mo ye mo targeta mo ye ntufi se be mo woka tana so ya so kwa kwa na obetana so na onya ya. Senka ba na nkoma wi ofiso. Enso megidi se adwuma na wo bo na enti nda so tiso. Ba omi aso ka MPP aban ho. Ntu no be gina no be ka se an na wonni se ewo mu dia na ke se ye de ntosum ba me ni mu nsama wakara so IGP na wacha dollar na wacha ko ma IGP e wo hemfa no kwa baba be gina so ye different ba umia man tie kura masa na me de me tie boro kura mpokura masa
ye da se maso ado se bi wa me hwemu free Germany no NDC never again. Hello.
Hello.
Eja udini baby afrefre.
But your only my James in you Spinters.
Yo, James me and you.
But that's okay. Me win it you win now. I part you from no few man as MP part no free. Hey, now master young ko yempo na o do master dey na. O so ba. Ye na no ya mo asama ade a mo hye na nsin ya wo ba bo yi twam. Na no ni Ghana na mo hye ya na. Omo kan yi se be ya MP for mo ye campaign a enye de mo mu we na MP for no e copy some kan yina o e be campaign against you because this sem na kan akuya me ni hu iti ni hu ni nine but okay politicians for the yam fan sa yam nshira
o nshira so eja mystical saki osi akuya eniema enkoye no nti mampania be de akire no nka mamu no ho hello yemfa frefo no ensia yebre no enti yemfa frefo no ensia sei na yenamase na nyame ya domo a unu se na wotwe se ne 14 wahu ena ye sen ena 17 aka ne nso na wotwe se ne na Valentine Day no baso na Adom FM yese kire wo do Valentine promotion no ne eguso odo ahyase kwan be so na wo fa ya udi hia wo dofo a wo ne nete bia wo kwan yo fa so ehia ne dofo eti enane de twato e ka kire wo se twegu ahoma so twegu mobile phone so na se wo de aba na wo de ba ya boboni nyina na yi bi firi mu a wo tomu a na che se wo na wo kro no eti sesei ensamu ne ye nyina no ye wie na me ya domo na wo twe se ne wo de obeti amanfo do baby amanfo hia wadofo firiye edu ho no mo a afidie no mani ntim ha ya ena boru ayegbo omom se na mhwebo fu Afcon ne fan ye danya ne ye bom pempenso Ghana de yi na emom mo egbo no ebi beje cup no setie bia wo bi beje cup no labushia ensa benya ne ye de ye klabie wo he finance na fasu nchen chilling kakran sepon kakran ena klabie no sane ye si aye no sane ye si abobɔ niema ewom no abusua bia de no ane club eti klabie adwumre sei baby a wotie bia wo pese odwojo ho a klabie officially Afcon no wotachie den baby etone anu ne bia wobenya bi ewo ho no mo ya da DBS roofing sheet fo ase omo na de nchanse abadwa so asa nchanse no awiabo a echi hit what be da entansi awiabo a echi hit emagina wo dem ho da meka me se obi wo ho awura ne dem asa wawura fon no mu obi so wo ho no mo a wo beto wani sa air condition kura wo hu bi wo ho no mo chanse odi aboda no so na ye papa hit bia magina dem ho na sa nchanse no so de DBS wada wurma en wode abadwa so eti mesre wo ada DBS nchanse papa no ko Sprinters Road danya ne papa ye restaurant dia nimhwe no ho no mo na ubenya bi afri ye dase na belated happy birthday enko emfa emmaw enko mfa maw belated happy birthday to my friend which happens to be my daddy, my love and my everything, Mr. Daniel Obeng Ofe abusua pani a wo asona abusua ye wo kitase inside the bri akuapem nyankopon onnom na onhyawo onnom no hyawo pa dada Ofe efi wunua sister enu honomo one onkwada ni nyina omo se Mr. Ofe omo official pa Mr. Daniel Obeng Ofe abusua pani a wo asona abusua wo kitase mu omo se omo ma official papa abusua medin ade akua boachi wa yi Adom producers no ye list of kwadwofo Kwam Kulenu, Aisha Akua Ibrahim, Frank Milovan and Jamra Chum Akowua. Ne odimi tumu live o Facebook and YouTube ni din edi Edward Tete ene ekuma mama Zimbi ene yenya koye ukuada na ye gusua kire do edi akona wahwe sene na wahwe sene de ene aguro nipo so odo ahoma so ekuma ebesi adwa na wabeto aso abusua madam ase ema monitia munyimfo na ne mfansi ya
Adom FM. Adom FM. Adom FM. Adom FM.
Ladies and gentlemen, when we assumed office in 2017, we were confronted with an economy with declining economic growth, along with several challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, when we assumed office in 2017, we were confronted with an economy with declining economic growth, along with several problems and challenges. Time was provided by the former president and my main opponent for the 2024 presidential election, who announced to the nation that the meat was finished and the economy was left with bones. Notwithstanding the difficult economy we inherited, we had to get on with it and start to fix the problems. We started with a clear, decisive, and deliberate program to, among other things, stabilize the economy, fix DUMSO, fix the National Health Insurance Scheme, fix the roads, clear the arrears, make education free and accessible, significantly enhance social protection for the vulnerable in society, industrialize our economy, tackle youth unemployment, and empower farmers.
Hey, Mama Zindi.
I told you, sir, nobody can predict or how much so. Won't see me because by grace we set the pace. Am I ready? Excuse, I come in baby the 82 and in my man, me now, Munchay. Beman Sudan and Chamachan, the Cotia, sorry. On Fanko, no more. On Fanko, watch and see more. On Fanko, Shen Sumo. But Ochena, no debation with you. Uber Yoga was now we jam, Mammy Yamo. I'll say it as it is. I am the love and sex doctor, the queen of the night. Yenny, I can't say yet here. We set the pace. Yaho, Minyadum, or be a Swiss Edeko. See the Atiano, no, be careful. Am I ready? Excuse, I come in baby the 82 and in my man, no, me now, Munchay. Beman Sudan and Chamachan, the Cotia, sorry. On Fanko, no more. On Fanko, watch and see more. On Fanko, Shen Sumo. But Ochena, no debation with you. Uber Yoga was now we jam, Mammy Yamo. I'll say it as it is. I am the love and sex doctor, the queen of the night. Yenny, I can't say yet here. We set the pace. Yaho, Minyadum, or be a Swiss Edeko. See the Atiano, no, be careful. Our dear in some womb. Oba wunya, Ufa Niamem. Bema was wunya, Ufa Nimem. Apart from school, sorry about to now for any idea, Unye, Emperor. You know, that time of the year, where the 14, 15, what da now, Kotia, sorry now, John so now what's so now for Case, Yanchi, now what's me on Sacra War, only about a simple mammy papa. So I bida.
My bida,
Unye bida.
Oh, my mammy,
say, Satana, Unye, you know, you're mature, you. But what I say, a girl be cry.